You're the new Michael McDonald. We just figured it out.
That's crazy.
Wait, did we just? I'll gladly take.
You're going to take that. I'm calling it now.
Dude.
He's going to be. They're going to be.
You
like,
don't know me, but I'm your mother.
Yes. Yes, hello. Welcome back to the Pop-Up with Paul and Friends. Hey, thanks for being here. However you got here, I'm grateful you're here to listen to these conversations I'm having. I'm having so much fun on this show. As a longtime interviewer, you know, I've really learned and grown as a person by listening to others and just getting a lot from them and bringing out the best in people and trying to make moments with people. And that's what this show has become here. I'm sitting in a garage that looks like a living room. That is the studio. We're here every week. And this is a special week because I actually taped this episode a little while ago with my buddy, and I had just been sitting on it. And the grateful thing I have about doing the show is I keep getting guests, keep getting great things. And we're off to the races when we started. And here we go, finding this gem in the vault. It's not that old. We recorded it a little while ago. It's not that old. But this guest is really special because not only is he a great friend of mine, but he's an incredible music artist. And I didn't know him that well really before doing this. So in a way, this is me getting to know people that I sort of knew, and now I get to know them better. We went from acquaintances to close friends by him doing me a favor and coming on and talking to me on my show. That's how you can be a better friend of me, is you come do my podcast. That's not messed up or transactional, is it? No, he's a great guy. I'm glad he was here. And I was joined, it's called Paul Costabile. That's my name. It's called Papa with Paul and Friends because I like having friends sit in sometimes and chat too. And this episode, I'm joined by my buddy over here, Rico Graziano. And as you listen to this episode, I hope it's music discovery for you if you don't know this guy. He's one of the best artists out today, and I'm really grateful that we had him to sit down here. And I think you should check out his music because I did the same thing. When I got into his music, I was like, my gosh, it's you. It's an unassuming sound for the guy you end up meeting at first glance, and I just think that's cool. All right, let's get into it. Take a listen. Have fun. Thank you for being here. We're here every week, so make sure you like, subscribe, follow, leave a review. Hit me up. I want to get more interactive with the show. Hit me up. I love to do some stuff with you. Send me somebody funny to interview, whatever it is. I hope to hear from you guys. And besides all that, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Jeff Goldford. Being here, man. It's
Whoa.
Let's see. This might not work with the audio, and I'll do it on my phone, but let's just see if this works.
Oh, you're playing.
This is Jeff. Listen to Jeff, because Rico doesn't know.
No, I don't know.
It's me, Rico.
Listen to Jeff. Look at how he looks, and then listen how he sounds. You're going to be blown away. Listen to this.
Tell me that I'm right, even if you lie. Tell me what I want to hear.
Does not look like that guy.
Same old walls, closing in. Same old voice inside my head.
Woo! By the way, how much do we have to pay you to play this every episode?
We can talk about it.
Yeah, I have no money yet.
You're negotiating with
I love how he's just like, we'll talk about it.
See?
It's not like, hey, just don't worry about it.
Listen to
That's a Jew I love. Right there.
I did that for you.
I know you did. I fucking loved every second of it.
One more second.
So happy.
One more. Let me get to the chorus, and we'll listen to this. Sounds good in here. I haven't done this yet. This is nice. I love his song.
I can't stop the rain, but we can ride the storm.
Thank you,
Is this weird for you? So I do that because when I met him, all right, stop. When I met him, I didn't know he sounded like that.
Oh my
It was
God.
You
unassuming.
played that just long enough
You
for me
got
to
it.
actually get a stream.
You got to know.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's it.
Matter of fact,
Everyone counts. That's what I tell him. Paul, I say, Paul, it starts
Even
with
on
one.
before
we'll
go
give
to
you the
bed.
stream,
Yeah,
but
right.
if that went long enough
I'll
for us
run
to
it.
pay you, we're gonna have to cut it. No,
So,
listen. I want to just open up by you have an amazing voice. You're a great musician, and I didn't know it. I meet this guy. He's a goofy guy. He comes over to my house uninvited. I was like, "What's he doing here?" Let him come over because he was a friend of the boys. And then you hear the artistry, and I think it's impressive. Like, you walk the walk. You don't go there's some people you meet in the industry that kind of talk a lot about what they do. Probably someone like me who's not as good as him. Someone like, hey, you know, I do comedy, I do video.
What do you do Thursday night?
I
Two
thought
drinks
this guy,
minimum.
I thought he was there to fix the pool, and he sounds so soulful, dude.
I
It's
was also
amazing.
there to fix the pool.
Well, yeah, you did. You fixed it.
I was about to say he doesn't look like a pool fixing guy. Like if he came in, I'd be like,
No, he
"Who's
pays the
agent?"
people to fix the pool.
Yeah, he pays somebody to fix the pool.
No, but you-
That's great. That's
He's really
how many
good.
times have you had to listen to that song? Because I know how repetitive it is being a musician of hearing your
How
own
many times
song.
have I had to listen to that song?
How many times have you, like when you were recording and everything, how many times have you heard yourself? Like me watching myself on tape or hearing myself, I can only do like, I have a minimum of like 3 times. Like if I watch a podcast of me, I can do like 2 or 3 times, and then I'm like,
That's a really interesting question because I think there's phases while I'm in the creating of it, or if I'm in the studio in the creating of it, like hundreds of times, and I never get sick of it because I'm listening for certain things.
You're making it, you're crafting it. Yeah.
At the end of it, when it's done, then you have your celebratory like listens, and then I tend to, not saying that this is the right, but I tend to move on to the next creating thing, and this thing just got placed in a Station 19.
Oh yeah, that's right.
they
oh, the
used it at
TV
the
show.
end of it.
Yeah.
There, see, you'll get paid for one of them. There you go.
That's it. And
Why
then
don't cover
people,
this?
I'll cover this.
I got a few songs that I have on my playlist that I've gotten from TV shows.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
oh
the
man, that's a
best
great
outlet.
song, man. And I like Shazam it,
And
then
it's
like
so cool because
I know that's awesome.
But what strikes me about you, and it says unassuming, is I have a lot of friends in entertainment. I'm a genuine fan. Like I hung out with him once, and I was like, all right, let me see what this guy does. I had no
I
idea.
love Paul judge the shit. out
Judge
of
the
first
shit. I'm like,
off
yeah,
the
you
bat.
do songs like all our buddies. Yeah, right. I am a genuine fan of your music.
Thank you.
And so
I'm a
I mean
fan
it.
as
I
well.
mean it. And I listen to it and I go, whoa, like I love the song. I love it. So I'm curious what your goal is kind of with music and also getting this stuff more into the world, because I think you're an interesting artist to meet now because your voice is great, your songs are great. I just think you're going to continue to get placed and do huge things.
Thank you.
So where are you at with it? Like, do you feel like you're in the right spot with music?
Yeah, I really feel like I got a really great relationship with it right now. I think that it's been a long, incredible, frustrating, and beautiful journey through understanding who I am as an artist and what it is that I make.
I feel like I feel like you're living the dream. Like you're making an album right now with some of your heroes, right? I just saw
Yeah.
you're working with the coolest. Can we say who you're working with?
Sure.
I think it's amazing. Basically, and not to use his name, but it's all of John Mayer's band for the most part, most of it.
Oh no
Pino
way!
Palladino
Very cool.
and David Ryan Harris and
Beasts,
Oh,
Titans,
Wow,
Nate Smith on drums. Just some amazing, like my heroes.
legit hero. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's
So
got to
what?
be cool. That's got to be really cool.
It's amazing.
It's almost the opposite of like when I was working with Paul.
Oh, it is. It is.
It is.
It
It's
is
like,
total complete opposite of like when I walk in and I'm like, this fucking guy.
You're like Rico walks in. He's like, you are so not Guy Fieri.
Wait, have you met Guy Fieri?
You know what? When James, you want to hear something funny? Was when James Gandolfini passed away.
Yeah.
People were texting me like, "Oh man, I can't believe it! Isn't that terrible?" Like people haven't talked to him forever. I'm like, dude, I don't know the guy. Never met him.
You would
I've never
think.
been
Did you
around
think?
him.
Assume that you knew him.
Yeah.
They assumed I knew him because he was from Jersey. He grew up in the Italian. Like they knew, like they thought because I knew people in L.A. like in the Italian circles and whatnot, and they thought I knew him. And I was like, no. I was like, like that's like somebody black dying and me texting Dave Chappelle and saying I'm so sorry.
Which you do if you had his number.
I would. I'd be like, Dave, forget it. I don't want to go.
I'm trying to. It's no, dude.
Dave.
Go race.
Dave, Jerome passed away. I'm so sorry.
Jerome's actually a traditional Jewish name. Jeremiah.
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 No, I my instinct here, like we're obviously joke around, but I am so intrigued by his, like I'm interviewing you also about the music because I don't know enough about it. And I think your music's been placed in different places, but you obviously like your goals, I'm sure, like I know this way with my own career. I always feel like I'm trying to catch up, right? Like you're on a TV show now. What's next? Do you want to have your album stream more? Do you want to be in a movie? Like what's the goal for placement and an audience?
I just want to. I want to perform and tour, and I want to just continue to do the things that I love and connect with as many folks as it resonates with. And my hope and intention is that this music connects with lots of people, and then the exchange continues on a much bigger level and a bigger level and a bigger level that allows me to continue to work with people that inspire me and express things and connect with folks as I'm doing.
Sure. Do you feel put on, like talking about music? Like, is this an official music like interview? Does it feel funny to you?
No. No, it's not like I get interviewed all the time about music. It's just, I guess, sometimes to spontaneously crystallize.
It's hard.
It's just more like when I was on a call, a creative call, and she was like, what's your goal? And I was like, shit, should I be like, I want to be the biggest star in the world, and that's my goal, and that's where I'm going? Or like, I was like, I would love to headline big festivals and have an amazing band and
I could
play
see that
these
happening.
songs.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
With that voice, without a doubt.
Thanks, man.
I mean, the look we could work on. Maybe get a nose job or something.
No, he looks good. He looks like he just came out of West Side Story.
Put some highlights in your hair.
I agree. Al, you guys can't see Al behind, but that's how I'm trying
That's
to
how you're
look.
trying to look.
That's-
You gotta
yeah,
we talk about Al
Look
every
like
episode.
your mother hates you.
Yeah.
We specifically don't have a camera on. We specifically don't have a camera on Al because we want women to pay attention to the show.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And not,
And he's got that dangerous look that you're like, fuck. And he's super sweet too. He's just telling us
Sweet
how
guy.
He's so empathetic when someone falls that he
that's
takes
what it is.
on all of the embarrassment for that person.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And he's danger like bad boy looking.
I'm really glad you're enjoying the scotch, man. That's great.
I'm enjoying this guy. I've been watching you on your interviews, and I'm like,
Oh, thanks, dude.
fantastic.
I know, right? Isn't he?
I'm like,
I
how
have
does
fun.
He get so close to all these famous
I
people?
know.
I
me
am
too.
right now. What do you mean?
Well,
Let's
are you allowed to say, like, if somebody's like asks you like, hey, what's your goals? And you're like, yeah, I just want to make a lot of money. Like, does that like take away
It's a
from
part of
being
it.
an
I
artist?
mean, yeah.
Of course, no, but I'm
Definitely
saying
artists
like
that are like talking about money and all they want. Yeah, for sure.
no, I'm just saying, like, I feel like sometimes if you say that, you're a little too blunt, and it like takes away from the artistry.
We were
of
pretty
what you
safe.
are.
We're pretty safe with him, and then the line of questioning about the money is a little racist. Just,
See,
we've been pretty good.
That's his. I'm telling you, he's working on a set that's really going to cross the line. It's going to get him fired.
No,
He's
you
not gonna
talked
be
about it
working-
earlier. I'm just doing a callback.
No,
I tend to think, from my experience, that when the more that I point something at money, the less I connect with it personally. And I really wish it wasn't the fucking case.
I hear
and
that.
I've done a lot of music that are like, oh, yeah, I think that this will be successful for here, this will be successful for there. But like, the things to me that have worked the most are where that's not even in the purview.
yeah,
It's a happy
yeah.
accident, kind of, but it is the goal, right? Like we hope to make money with
Well,
this
I
one
think
day.
it's the byproduct.
Yeah,
It is a byproduct. I've done stuff where I've got on auditions, got the gig and the show, and you know what? At the end of the day, I'm like I always feel like the audition is like the most exciting because you don't know.
yeah.
You're like, oh my god! And then when you do get it, you're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it. Then you do it. Then all of a sudden they send you the check, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
You
The check.
forget.
You
Well, I
know
think
what
we're
I'm
all
saying?
in fields that we love what we do. We would do it for free. I mean, this is for free. We love doing this.
Yeah.
I think
This is for free.
Well, we'll talk to the team.
Hey, we got you bagels and lox.
We got him bagels and lox because we wanted breakfast. Why else? That's all.
We're
That's all
Italians.
reason.
It just so
see it,
happened
I
that
saw it. I see it.
You know what?
'Cause
You're
I saw
from
it.
you're from Chicago, right? Which is a
St. Louis.
why do you think you're from Chicago? You
I
live
live-
in
who's
Chicago.
from you? Who's
My
from
bad.
St.
See, I
Louis?
should do
You're the
better
first
prep for
Nelly?
these.
you're the first
And
person.
Soldier Boy and I, the three of
No,
us.
wait. St. Louis. I want to hear about your upbringing in St. Louis and like because is your voice and your soul kind of from like growing up there? Is that a part of it? You sing like a certain distinct sound, man. You're not just like you don't sound like you, like how you look.
I've heard that.
Does it have to do with growing up there and be like? Did you grow up in church in St. Louis or like? Cause that's
I mean, I didn't go to church. I'm a Jew.
that's
He's a
right.
Jew. He went
That's
to
right, but I
synagogue.
mean, like,
on the other
mu-
side of those jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just kidding. Here's the thing. I grew up listening to. This is why I think I sing the way I sing. There's three reasons. One, I grew up listening to. My dad loved, like, Motown
Yeah.
and soul. So growing up, I listened to like Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder and Al Green and Sam Cooke, and then I listened to all like Simon and Garfunkel and Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers. Like he would listen to all that stuff.
Right.
James Taylor.
Songwriting means
James
soul,
Taylor.
basically.
And then when I was I think I was in second grade. I got my grandma's television with like the bunny ears, and they had the only channels that worked. There was like 5 channels, and one of them was channel 58, and it was the jukebox, which you paid $2.99. You call in, and it's a video.
Nice.
But like the only videos they played were deep R&B and rap.
Cool.
So I was this like second grader just staring at the TV watching like After 7 and Johnny Gill and Belle Biv DeVoe and all these like really deep 90s R&B people.
Yeah.
So like whenever I didn't know I could sing until I was like 19 or 20.
What was the first song you like? Or like, oh, I actually sound like the song.
I would sing in the car and in the shower all the time, never in front of anybody. And then when I was a sophomore in college, so I was 19, and I was living in a house with a bunch of dudes, and we shared a bathroom. And I would always sing in the bathroom, and I didn't think anybody was home.
Get out.
Somebody was
I
like,
mean,
"Oh."
it doesn't sound that gay, but go ahead.
Yeah, so then I dropped the soap, and
Yeah, right.
Me and a
And
bunch
someone
of
came
dudes
in. You're
shared
like,
a bathroom and
your
we were
buddy,
singing.
your buddy
No,
came
it's
in.
like-
He,
No, I know. I'm
It
just
was a
saying.
house second floor. It was like 4 shower stalls.
Right.
Like nobody was home. I was just singing,
yeah.
and someone was like, "Oh my god, like you can sing," and I was like, "I can't sing." And they're like, "You can sing," and then I got the balls to do like an open mic night, and I wrote a song and was like, "Well, you know, if I was a songwriter, what would I write about?"
Right.
Every
Oh,
songwriter,
shit.
I feel like when they first start out, they write songs about writing songs.
Sure.
Al, can you back me up there?
Yeah, or a heartbreak.
Or heartbreak.
He's
yeah.
going through something. Yeah. But so you're from St. Louis, and then you go to Kansas University, or you left St. Louis
I left
to go to Chicago?
Is your
I went-
family still there?
my parents moved here last week.
Oh wow!
No, last week.
You got them out of where? Out of Chicago?
St. Louis.
Out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis to me, I've only been there once, and I think I have a problem with the middle of like not a problem because of where we're from, New Jersey. He's from Jersey too. I don't know if you can tell. We should be just calling this like Jersey Idiots. This
Yeah.
show. This should be called Jersey Idiots trying to have a
Jersey-
conversation.
yeah, meatballs, Jersey
That's-
meatballs.
I take offense to that
Yeah,
because it's,
yeah, now
'cause
you
it's
just
our
went-
food.
Yeah, I thought we were living in a time where like comedy can cure
We
all.
should
Oh,
generalize.
yeah,
everything.
really,
things.
Paul.
That's it, that's
Really.
it. So I have been to St. Louis once, and I do think we generalize, speaking of the word generalize, when we're from the coast. To me, I went to that city. It was like the sleepiest city I've ever been to. It was like the walls were boarded up. Nobody was out at night. And it was also
Dangerous.
dangerous. Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
But
nothing
the
about
middle
St.
of the
Louis.
country. So it's sort of.
So does it get
It's a
cold
different-
there? Like what's it?
Yeah, it gets real cold.
Okay.
No, I'm
I don't
curious.
know
You
where
seem
on
very
map it is.
otherworld. You seem like very worldly of a person being from where you're from. Like, when did you first leave St. Louis?
I left at 18.
Okay, so maybe that's why.
So you could say St. Louis is a kind of a shithole.
No, I like.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just feel like you live somewhere.
I
at 18.
painted a picture. He didn't.
I know.
I said that.
Okay.
I'm the one
Because
ripping
the
on it.
picture that got painted to me was just sounded terrible.
No, I just meant it was very different than where we're
Great
from.
place to grow up.
Good Italian section in St. Louis too. Actually,
great
not for
Italian
nothing.
from the
Yeah,
hill.
I've been over there. Yeah, of course I was over there. That's
Yeah.
all I went.
Of
There was
course.
a wedding at the church over there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was an Italian wedding.
I crashed the wedding. No, but I crashed it. That's why I was there. I want to
is like a
retrace. I want to
50-year-old
retrace my statements. I'm not shitting on St. Louis. I just mean it's so opposite of how we grew up. I also think leaving cities like that is more of a leap for people. Like you came to Chicago, bigger city, right? And then you now are in LA. There's like something to be said about leaving.
I was in
feel like.
St. Louis and I went to school in Kansas.
Kansas.
And I went to Chicago, Austin, Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Nashville, LA.
Wow, so you bounced around.
So is it true like Nashville, did that send you to the next level in your music? Because I feel like all musicians like that's like the home base for music. Is like
love Nashville.
every person I know in music has been to Nashville or lived there or recorded there.
I think I found and lost myself in Nashville.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because like
interesting.
I feel like when I was living in Chicago, I was in a corporate job and I was like a 9 to 5 in corporate sales.
So you learn. This is interesting. Is you learn to sing. You figure out how to sing in college, and you go into the corporate sales route. You're just a young guy. You're like, I want to work and make money.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do this shit. Like, music's not realistic. I'm gonna go. My dad, I remember being like, when I graduated, he was like, all right, you're on your own now.
Yeah.
And I was grateful that he took care of college. So
Sure. That's interesting you say that, though. Did you feel, because this is an upbringing thing, too, did you feel like music couldn't be a job?
for sure,
Were your parents that way about music?
my parents weren't outwardly. They didn't know I would even wanted to do music.
So was it like more like it's a hobby and you can maybe do a little bit of money but
When
get
I
a real
wanted
job?
to do music, they were like, "We support you
That's cool.
emotionally. Go for
Oh,
it."
cool. That's what my wife says
That's
about
exactly
this.
what two Jewish parents would say to their son. We emotionally and we hope that you enjoy that.
No, I
hobby,
actually really like
but-
this. I like this subject because I just
Yeah.
watched. There's a new movie. Not that I'm getting paid for this, but Spielberg's new movie, The Fablemans. I just interviewed the cast.
What's the Fablemans now? It's coming.
Yeah, check it out in theaters. November. Whenever this is out, it's already out. We're not releasing this ever, but anyway, that is about Spielberg's life, And so I asked the question to my parents because his mom was really creative. In the movie, they portray the mom. She was a free spirit. She was like, do what you want. And he had a knack for filmmaking.
Oh, really?
And his dad, but no, even as a kid, he was
He did
like,
okay with his career like that.
he did all right. But his dad was like, yeah. Here's a camera. It's fun, cool hobby. But where's your job? And what's your job? And and this is at a time it's even harder to think about the way he started at the time he started to go in the movies, right? So I'm curious for your parents and that because there is a decision in our fields, right? Like I'm still thinking I might need a corporate job. I'm going backwards,
Right.
But there is a moment where you go, no,
Paul gives me anxiety when he talks about that stuff.
All right.
Getting a 9 to 5. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's funny. Like, I feel like I've got friends that are Indian, and they were like, my parents, like I had to be a doctor or an engineer.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's like growing up Jewish in St. Louis, where I was there was a predominantly, I think my high school was like 40% Jewish, 35% Jewish, which is that's a lot of Jews.
Yeah, that's a lot of Jews.
Good. I didn't know that about St. Louis at all.
But we're concentrated.
Yeah.
That was it. In that one
But
spot.
You grow up and like that is a thing. Doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, being successful business,
Right.
Success being defined by money and how much you make or whatever, was I think something that I was in training with, whether I knew it or not. And so I just felt like, you know what, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Sure.
So when I found music, and that really was special, and it was something that came really naturally, that I was like, this really is conflicting with this, which was like, I was going to school I was going to do advertising. I went to journalism. I think that was the plan.
Yeah.
But really,
But that's autistic too, journalism. That's like
Autistic?
Artistic.
from Jersey. It's one accent away from.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good
different
artist.
kind of art.
He's autistic,
Yeah.
that guy. He's a good journalist.
Yeah. I do think I'm not trying to be self-righteous about all being in the creative field, but I think that's a part of what separates the journey you're on is like, no, I want to do this for real. I'm going to invest in it's so soul crushing to invest in your own creative and your own artistic stuff because it takes a long time to make money on it.
I think that I would have, if I would have gone straight into like creative or music when I was 23 or whatever, 22 or whatever. Whenever I got out of college, if I would have gone into it, I would have burned out. The amount of just like, I just think I either would have partied my ass off or the rejection or whatever. It just, by the time that I realized that this is what I wanted to do, I had already, been in the work world for a while and I was like making okay money. I was making some good money and I was like, this isn't it.
Right.
It's not about the money. It's about the purpose. It's about doing something that you love. I know that sounds super cliche, but
no,
I got to that point and then I was like, oh, wow, it's really not about that. So when I was like, I'm going to go do music, it was really because I wanted to do music. And I think that my persistence through that will continue because of that.
Definitely. I don't think you can have a voice like yours and not do it.
Yeah,
truly,
it'd
be a
crime.
disservice to
It would be a
music.
crime.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
it'd be
not
like-
blowing smoke, dude. You have such a unique, great voice.
If you didn't have a good voice, I would say it. You know me.
If you sounded like other guys here, I wouldn't say that. It's different. If you sound like Al, I would, but. Just
Well,
kidding,
I
Al.
think, I got to keep crushing my dream. Maybe I could work
Maybe
on
we
it and
could
become a singer.
auto-tune you.
Well, maybe you should, in
yeah.
spite of him. He's
I know.
inspiring
I'm going
you.
to fuck him. I'm going to start taking singing lessons.
He just said he made it happen. Did you do a Michael McDonald growing up, and can you do one for us here?
Was that information that was fed from you from shadowed sources?
You mentioned Michael. I'm an interviewer.
He's got a
by
microphone
trade.
in his ear.
I
Al's telling
remember
him what to
everything.
say.
You mentioned Michael McDonald in this podcast.
I do a Michael McDonald.
We got to hear it.
There's a couple things you need to know about Michael McDonald
Get it.
and me. One, my dad went to high school with Michael McDonald.
What?
No shit.
Oh,
Michael McDonald's from St. Louis.
Oh, no way.
I didn't know that. Oh my God,
I thought you were the most famous person from St. Louis since Mark McGuire.
Nelly?
Nelly, Mark
Okay,
McGuire,
Nelly. All right.
and Jeff definitely juices. Wait, so keep going. I didn't know. By the way, you're the new Michael McDonald. We just figured it out.
That's crazy. That your
Wait,
dad
did
went
we
to
just?
see-
I'll gladly take.
You're
that
going
off.
to take that.
Yeah,
I'm
without a
calling
doubt,
it now.
dude.
They're going to be
You
like,
don't know me, but I'm your mother.
yes,
Yeah.
that's him.
So
my
my
God,
dad went
that
to
was
high
actually
school.
That was
really
incredible. Can you actually do what? Can you say the next sentence as Michael McDonald, please, just to humor us?
Say anything. Whatever
Say
you
anything. Actually, say an observation. Make fun of us and as Michael McDonald, just for kicks.
Yeah, make fun of Paul.
Get him on the close up.
Get him on the close up. I'm trying to on the spot.
Rip on me.
Paulie, I can't even think about it.
Talk about his shoes and his
You're
socks.
a crazy wop-head Italian.
Whoa! I loved it. See, it's allowed. It's permissible. It's Italian.
I got it. Well, I got.
That
I
was
got
good.
permission.
That was good.
I got
If we can
so-
get headlines that just says Michael McDonald sings Italian slur, I think that could work for some press here.
Just cut it.
You sound good, man.
Oh, dude.
So you went to high school with your dad.
So I went to high school with my dad, and I love Michael McDonald. First of all, that guy's just like, he doesn't sound like he looks, and I've always loved Michael McDonald. And then one day, out of nowhere, I got a phone call, and it was Michael McDonald's manager, and they heard me
shit.
on Pandora.
What?
And they were like, would you like to come to Aspen and open up for Michael McDonald
What?
at the Belly Up?
I have to see this.
And I don't even think you can, it's not like recorded.
Is there images of you and Michael McDonald
I
or
have
anything?
images of me and Michael
Give me
McDonald.
send them to me right now. I want to see. We got to show everybody this.
I don't know necessarily.
We're
if I
gonna
can
make him
just,
look
like-
for it. This is like
Whatever, dude. This is a show where he's having
it back later. Wait. I think I
Yeah.
can search by ass.
Watch what happens. Oh, I don't know if I have it.
Here he is.
What? I told you immediately. Hold on. Can you text that to me?
happened?
I believe in these things though. It's like you probably thought of the guy a lot growing up. He's from where you're from, right?
I didn't know that he was from where he's from, and I didn't. My dad listened to him.
Right.
I got respect for Michael McDonald for sure.
Check this out, everybody. This is pretty unbelievable.
Oh,
You look good. You look like an actor in this. I'm trying to put my finger on it. Hold on. I got to leave the
George
Wi-Fi.
Clooney, I think.
You
No?
do look like George Clooney a little bit. When I first met you, you reminded me of Adam Sandler. I don't know why. Isn't that weird? You
Again
get
with
that?
the Jew jokes.
That's not a
jokes,
Jew
dude.
joke,
That's
dude.
a total
It's the
Jew
truth.
joke.
You could say
Yeah.
Ross from
That's
Friends
it.
for me, and you're not going to say it's a Jew joke.
No.
Or an
That's
Italian
so-
joke.
Yeah,
Can
see?
this get wider? Yes.
Oh,
This is
Look at that.
Jeff Goldford, Renee Zellweger, and Michael McDonald. Unbelievable
Oh my
stars.
So I
This
did
is
thing,
wild.
and I was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my Michael McDonald imitation before Michael McDonald to his crowd. I'm going to start singing one of his songs. I'm going to sing 12 seconds
What'd you say?
long
as
time.
Michael McDonald, and then like in his voice.
that's a long time. 12 seconds.
It's also bold in front of the man's crowd.
and then move into.
But
one
he
of my
looks
songs.
kind of cool.
This is what he looked like when he heard you doing that.
And then I got it. And the funny thing is that like he sounds amazing, but he's just said fuck it on pronunciating words.
Oh yeah.
So now it's just like it doesn't, you know.
When you have that voice,
do
it's
the
just
same
all
thing.
notes coming together, right? You're like, what is he saying? Doesn't matter. He's got his own
But he
timbre.
sounds
It's
so
great.
good, man. And so I was gonna do
It is
that.
his own
That was my whole
instrument.
thing. I thought it was gonna be hilarious. And thank God, like right before I was like getting sound, like plugging in and looking, he's like in the wings and he's watching.
You're like,
And
no.
I was like, absolutely not, I'm not going to do that. And I'm so glad that I didn't do it because afterwards I was like, I think I was telling him, I was like, we were talking and I was like, he's like, I'm glad you didn't do that.
that's yeah. He probably gets it so much. He doesn't want it as a. He invited you out, and you're going to try and caricature
I didn't
him.
do it though. That's the thing.
I'm saying it's classier because this is again. He's anti-risk. He had the thought to get his hands dirty with Michael McDonald, and he thought, you know,
Yeah,
what?
but you don't want
Let me
to-
go
yeah,
safe
that's
here.
That is not labor savvy.
Yeah, right. You want the job again. You want to work. You want to open for him
I was
again.
gonna say, he's not. You don't do
That
that
is a
on day
wrong
one.
connection.
Why does he look like he could have been in one
Maybe
of the
the
American
third.
Pie movies here as well? He looks like a character.
I mean, you
I
are
would've
very
seen.
photogenic.
Looks good.
That's you. You look way better. I mean,
I
that's
know. If I only looked that good in real life.
No, I know. Really, tell me about it. But you are. You're very photogenic.
All right, here we go. It's Goldford, everybody. Take a look at this guy's Instagram. This is someone you want to follow. Clearly, look at this. Oh, this is a song we just listened to.
Yeah, that's the song.
Now this is you. Oh, this is you promoting. He was going to be on Station 19. My buddy's on that show, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, we got to get him here. But I'm going to tell him when he acts. Is it already out?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say he could think of you. I'll send him your picture and I'll say when you do the scene, think of this
They
guy.
add the music after the scene.
I know. So for inspiration, I'm saying this is what people are going to hear. Think of this guy's face when your buddy's burning or whatever's happening on the
if
show.
his-
you know?
I'm sure he's in the. Oh, he's a regular.
Melissa's mother
Yeah.
watches
His friends
that
are
show.
gonna burn
She
again.
watches
He
it every
can
week.
use it.
His name is Okirite. He was in Hamilton and he's now an actor and he has a bunch of stuff. But he was in that show. But that's the thing about. Let's just check out. Hold on. Let's look at this guy for a second.
Original cast of Hamilton, or
Yeah.
How awkward is it just watching it on social media with us?
They're so sweet.
I feel so comfortable with you, man.
This is not recorded in the backyard, is
Yeah,
it?
it is.
What's with that reverb? Are you singing into a bowl?
TikTok.
Dude, if anybody ever watches this show, I really do hope this could be music discovery for someone like you because you are really great. Let's just look at, let's creep it up a little bit more.
amazing. You got
Look
a
at this is what I
really
did when I met Jeff. Little cover. Oh, we're not allowed to. We're not allowed to air that.
You're totally.
This is the wife. Can we show everybody the wife? Why not?
Let me see. What the
Great
Persian
girl
wife
from
looks
Long
like.
Island.
Oh, whoa,
Strong
whoa.
Island.
Oh my.
My God, a Persian from Long Island. Jeez, what are you trying to do to
Yeah,
yourself?
look, everyone pay attention
Are
to
you
Jeff's hair.
sabotaging-
Look at Jeff's hairline. We're going to, in a year from now, 2 years into marriage, we'll see it disappear. I'm excited to see that. Let's see this fresh as it started.
Oh, look what a nice smile she's got.
sweet. She's sweet. What's it like? All right, we're done creeping. I like
Enough.
I like when you wear these hats
I was
because
gonna wear that hat for you today.
you pull the hat off. I hate seeing white guys who don't pull this hat off. You do, right? Look at that. That guy could ride a horse and steal your girl. You know what I mean?
I cannot
Why is
ride
that?
a
Every
horse.
time Paul sees a really good looking guy, he's always worried that they're going to steal his girl. Paul, your girl,
I gotta talk to
your
my own
girl is
therapist.
around the top of the top. It's not like when I say, oh, somebody could steal Melissa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Al, your girl is like, oh, I'm around
Yeah.
Chris Martin. Like, you know,
Well,
like
no, my
that, like,
joke, I'm working on a joke where it's like my wife's.
That's really funny.
That's my.
That's
I'm working on
true.
that premise because it's like my
That's-
people
yeah,
have
that's
hall
for him.
passes, and my wife is. I'm like one DM from Bradley Cooper being my children's stepdad. Like, that's how close
That
my
is
wife is to
great.
celebrities.
Yeah, exactly.
You seem like a guy. I like when I met you. You know, like I like when I met him. He's doing his career. He's not single. He's married, but also you're very introspective. You're aware of stuff. You meet guys that don't know how to talk about stuff sometimes, right? You are open, even though you come across like you'd stab somebody if they said the wrong thing.
Yeah,
you're a very
not
open
that
person
I
as well.
haven't.
But you're in a program where you talk about real stuff. You're in
Yeah.
a program. You're sober.
yeah.
So similar to you, we've had conversations privately where you're like a pretty deep guy. I was never this dude. I was afraid of being open. Even now, we're doing a show. Like I could talk about anything and not feel like awkward. You're an introspective guy, and then to take it a step further, you marry a therapist.
Yeah.
So that to me is because my wife moonlights. Like she thinks she's a therapist, right? Your wife actually is. That's a whole layer of communication. Like, is it great, or are there parts where you go like, can we just not talk about how we're triggered by our childhood wound? Can we just have a hang? I don't want to.
Entire time I haven't felt terrified to answer a question until right now.
Till now.
No, I think it's great. Like she brings a lot of incredible perspective. I also think that like, you know, sometimes you're like, you're a therapist. Why doesn't this translate to your skills
Interesting.
in our fights? But I never feel like I'm therapized. So maybe that's because she's just a really fucking good therapist.
That's good.
Probably.
But if I have like stuff that's outside of me and her, she's amazing.
She knows.
Well, she just reflects back in a way that makes me feel seen and validated, and like, you know, helps me just detach from what are my emotions of something, or versus like, this fucking guy, can you believe what he did to me? And like she can reflect it back in a way where it's like, oh yeah, that's probably all me.
She steers the
love it.
ship in a better way. That's
See,
healthy for
he
you.
said
See, I would hate
to be
that though.
seen and validated.
Yeah, but see, I would-
it's very like, you know, like, yeah, that is some.
That's
fucking
legit.
good
But I would
juice
hate
right there, boy.
if my wife was like,
Anybody that's married knows that that's the secret weapon.
That's right. I am
Yeah,
not
just-
that I
seen or
can't still fucking
validated.
do.
just need to be heard.
You say that I'm not seen or
I am
validated?
not seen nor am I validated in any way,
Doesn't
shape,
go
or form.
both ways, Rico.
Oh,
Yo,
okay, good. It's good
Rico's,
to know.
Rico's girl only validates him when they are parking somewhere in
yeah,
LA. That's about it.
Yeah,
That's
good
it.
job,
No,
Rico. You
not
found
the
a good
best.
parking spot.
I meant it was a parking validation joke. It was even worse than that.
It was like a, yeah, I got
It was
you.
Yeah,
kind of
click,
a weak
click.
one for today.
Yeah.
but-
Well, it's like when you
The
say
Mexican
at the
guy.
store when they're, can you validate my parking, or emotionally, can you validate?
Can you validate? Yeah. He says the grocery clerk is as far as he's going to get. But I think
Oh,
it's
the Mexican
interesting.
guy.
No, to your point, you want to be seen and heard. But have you always been like? I kind of had a growth as a guy where I was a little more introspective once I was in a serious relationship.
Did you shower with a bunch of guys too?
Of course. Yeah. But I wasn't
Without
singing.
doubt.
I was doing
And he
stand
wasn't in
up.
college or anything. He
I was
just
doing
did it.
stand up
The Tuesday night.
Bad.
Yeah, right.
Have you always been that way? Because this guy goes to like Ojai. He does like retreats, wellness. He sits in sound baths for like 2 weeks.
No. It's intense.
I'm going to India in 3 weeks.
You're going to sweat lodge there.
You going
quite a
for
bit.
work or for fun? Fun or?
At this point, the lines are blurred.
Nice.
But,
Oh yeah.
going for a month or 3 weeks.
Nice. Doing music there
shit.
too?
Doing music there.
That's
yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
of course. I mean,
Get a little
those-
sitar.
Yeah, sitar. I mean, doing this thing. There's this town. My wife, she is in the sound. She's a sound therapist. So she's a talk therapist, and then she uses sound to
Interesting.
do certain things so that then you're able to access memories and things.
Yeah, like smells and stuff and sounds, definitely, without a doubt.
I'm afraid of that therapy.
So she tells me about this. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this thing. There are these Indian sound instructors, sound teachers. They teach you how to heal your body with frequency, with sound, using your voice. And it's in this town, and it's called Oroville, and it's
In India.
In India, and there's no money, no religion, no politics. It was founded in 1968. It's like a utopian society.
What?
There's like 5,000 people that live in this place. Schools, stores, restaurants.
That's
No
cool.
money. And my friend of mine was like, yeah, there's like a 95% chance it's not a cult. Which I thought was a great
Sounds
joke.
like a good one though. With all that
like
stuff.
a really positive. So that's where we're going to this thing and learning how to do that.
Wow. That's what I'm saying though. See, is it, my question was, you do a lot of things like that, more than the normal maybe person who's looking to biohack or be wellness or mental health. Was it partially because of the relationship, or were you like that before your wife?
I think I've always been like this. I've always
seeking.
been seeking.
Okay.
Constantly seeking.
That's
Got it.
cool.
Constantly seeking and trying to understand more about myself and more about what this whole fucking thing is.
See, I think there's a stereotype with men. That's why I'm asking, because I wasn't like that. I was like in the clouds until I was in a serious relationship. I was fun, drinking, work. It was like no deepness or introspection. You're wired that way, it sounds
No,
like.
I was like that until my first major like breakup relationship, like heartbreak.
You're like, let me
And
look
then
into this.
after that, I was like, whoa, what's the world? What's things? And then I kind of like that. From there, I started seeking, and that was
Right.
like early 30s.
You ever want to take it all back and just wish you never had to look at yourself? I do.
I sometimes want to curl up in a ball and not do anything because I feel like everything's got domino like
Right.
effects on
Oh, it
whatever
does.
you do.
I just
You
like the
start
idea-
Self-seeking.
I just wish
That's
like
a rabbit hole sometimes,
Yeah.
man. I've told people who started doing that stuff, going to therapy like at 70. I'm like, you kind of gone to 70. Like I'll just push through the rest of the way.
But like my parents, my mom, they're 70, early 70, and both of them are ready for mushrooms. They're like,
cool.
you know, 'cause
Oh,
I'm
wow.
I think psychedelics are really
yeah,
important.
yeah. It seems very
Wait, you
cool.
didn't bring any psychedelics here after you talked?
Who said I didn't bring any psychedelics?
Yeah, you didn't ask. His necklace has got it in there. Some powder.
You look
some
like
fucking,
you.
what's it called?
You take psychedelics that smell like good cologne. It looks like to him, right? Like he's like
No, but I think psychedelics are super important for like,
unlocks, right?
Oh yeah, I've done
understanding.
shrooms a ton of times. Some acid. Well, you shouldn't do acid.
So I've
I
never
don't know
done.
about that either. I agree with
Acid
that.
is intense, dude.
So, but you don't
12
really-
hours later, you're kind of like, oh fuck, what did I do?
But I agree with you. I've always wanted to do that type of journey. Like I haven't done anything like that. It'd be interesting to try like unlocking stuff
Blow your mind.
up there, right?
Oh, it changes your perspective on shit.
Well,
Trust
you just
me.
you feel when your ego dissolves, and then you have access to, because that's what happens. You know, your ego dies.
What?
God,
Where's the?
it would literally, you might as well just die, like literally physically too.
I might as well shave my head and be
Pulls
bald.
all ego.
He's like ego with a quaff.
Yeah, ego with a fucking quaff.
A
dude.
peacocking ego. No. I've done work on my ego. My favorite book actually is Ego's Enemy. It's a great book. I recommend.
I've read Ego's the Enemy, but when I talk about ego,
Self.
I'm talking about the version of yourself that is protecting and serving you. The identity that is what is you, right?
Got it.
And when that is dissolved and you have no attachment to identity or
Where you?
where you are, your stories, what you've experienced, you know, your perspective shifts so you can see some shit.
That's interesting, and I really want to do that. But like, I think one of my biggest fears is like doing a 23andMe and realizing I'm not Italian at all. Similar,
That would
like,
be amazing.
but like identity crushing.
It would crush 'em.
If we need somebody there,
Oh, dude, I
I
have
would
a
pay a
friend.
lot to
I have
have
a,
them doctor up the test.
But no,
dude,
what I'm
I know,
saying
right?
is,
I'm sure I know somebody.
And he's
who
like,
works, yeah.
I'm 100% Anglo-Saxon.
I knew a kid who one of my friends was he's always talking, I'm Jewish, blah blah blah. It's like, you know, people we look, you know, he's scruff with people like, oh, you guys are brothers. He's like, no, but you know, Italian and Jewish. He did a fucking 23andMe. He's Italian. His mother was a full Italian. He was like 65% Italian, and he was like 3% Jewish. He still claims that he's Jewish, but
what I'm saying is like identity, because we do kind of walk around thinking these things about ourselves, and that it is interesting to think about that being stripped. I think I've done work to do that on myself, but not at the level where it's like chemical, where it actually like flows.
You didn't get there either way. One's a quicker way to get there.
Well, I think they're two different type of journeys to get. You're not sure if you get to the same place, but they're two different.
I
journeys.
have a fear
I've
about
done
my
them.
brain though. Like I feel like I'd be like I wouldn't know who I am after an experience like that. Like maybe I just need to try it, but like I think because of what I do too, like and maybe as a performer, like did you come back to music and feel like I don't know who I am? Like that would freak me out. Like it would strip like part of the
Paul's
hard
not mentally
drive.
strong enough to do it. I'm not gonna lie. I love you, Paul. I know you, but
I've always felt like closer to where I was going.
So just it steers you in a direction that feels right after that.
But like, we got a friend, we'll not mention his name, but he did him. And he grew up very religious and had a very defined framework of faith.
right.
And this thing like really
Unlocked it.
kicked out the legs from it, and it like fell over in a way that I think caused a free fall because a lot of ideals were shattered, and then ultimately it led to a beautiful place.
Right.
But in the interim, it was a pretty scary thing. But I think if you were to, put a gun to him today and say, "Would you do the thing again?" He'd say, "Yeah, this has been a very helpful, enlightening experience."
I need to look. Yeah, I need to be more open. Then it's almost like you look at yourself in the world just through a different angle, right? You see, it
the
differently.
lens changes a
The
little
lens
bit.
changes, but it's still you.
Yeah.
I would have that fear. I probably just rely so much on my own understanding of me and what I do and who I am that shattering that. I feel like I've done it through therapy and work, but I'm afraid to do it 100%.
Well, I
You know
know
what I mean?
back
Like
in
that.
the day when me and my friends would do acid, we literally right before we do it, we were like, I hope shit stays the same.
That's
Like,
what I mean.
Like relationships change. When you trip acid with somebody, like shit can get really deep, or you kind of like maybe me and this person are as close as I thought we were, and that shit has happened. Like we had a friend of ours who was like this long haired, like Metallica shirts. After we were done tripping, he cut his hair, took his posters down. He was like, he literally said, he goes, I think I want to be a cop when I get old. He became a cop.
Acid
and this
brought
is
him to
like-
be a cop.
Acid brought him to be a cop.
That's when it
And that
works
was
in
a
reverse.
Sophomore in high school, dude. He tripped so hard. He had to work. He had a bad trip, we call it. But I'm like,
That's my
it
fear.
turned it like,
That's my
what was
fear.
it? What was his career going to be? Being that guy with the long hair, he found his path.
LSD. I'm done it a couple times,
That's intense.
handful of times. Mushrooms. You're good.
What are you promoting?
Mushrooms are way
what are you
better.
promoting
Mushrooms
for
are way
someone
better.
like me who's fearful of changing my brain forever, like coming back and not being able to speak?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms. is
I'm
a lot
honestly
when they
getting
say.
scared just thinking about doing it. Like,
Well, maybe we got to talk about some bigger control issues you got, Paul.
don't tell me how
Oh,
to
Paul's got
behave.
Paul.
Are you- what are you,
ooh,
fucking
we got
wife?
Al. We even got Al just came in on that one with an ooh. Wow, that is like, yeah.
You felt the thing of him.
Yeah, the little control thing. He's
Look at the power dynamic here. You're the patient. I'm the therapist. I made this set to make people feel less than.
Yeah.
You're in a fucking lawn chair.
I'm in a fucking lawn chair from the lady across the street.
Dude, I talk about all this stuff because I'm intrigued by it. I also think what you are promoting is something I want to be a part
He's
of.
not
which is-
promoting. He's just talking about it. I don't think he's saying.
I want people to know.
I
he
don't think
came
as a
up-
musician.
He's
like
dude,
he's selling fucking.
We're looking for
psychedelics.
sponsors. For all we know, this could be sponsored by a shroom company he works with.
I
Sponsored
listen
by
to
the
it.
fun guy.
So see,
Yeah.
there you go. We need sponsors. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Heroin, whatever. But like, we need money. But
What company sells fentanyl?
everyone in LA. So I just like what you're saying. I'm intrigued by because I think we all should be seeking, like you. And you've really taken action to be a seeker through everything. You found shrooms. I think you picked your wife in a way because you're seeking. Maybe like it's a good part of the relationship.
When I feel like when I was a kid, I was doing mushrooms to be playful, recreationally, and I think that like later on in life, you do them more like medicinally.
Yes.
And they, like, it sounds like you probably did mushrooms when you were a teenager, and like,
I've done plenty of mushrooms.
I don't know if anyone's ever
actually-
medical
what's
for
funny
him.
Is I've gotten visuals on mushrooms compared to acid. Where acid, I've never gotten visuals. Where mushrooms, I've been like, holy shit, did I just see something? Or like when you turn your head quick, I'm like, did I just see somebody walk past me? And like, it
See, I'm not-
Like,
I don't want
I've
that.
had, but that's because I ate a lot of mushrooms, and I probably had like the best mushrooms.
Well,
at
you
the
always,
time.
he doesn't know your story, but you always overdid it, right? If you had mushrooms, you eat all of them.
Yeah, I'm like 15 years sober, but I've had those moments where I've done mushrooms and like coke at the same time because, like, I was like, okay, I'm done tripping. I need to get out of this room. Like
What can do it?
tripping room.
Drugs.
Yeah, other
Different
drugs. Yeah, which didn't work. Just so to let you know, if you're
Start
tripping
changing
acid,
lanes.
you just need to roll it through. There is no like doing blow or smoking a joint. Like you got to push. You're in that room.
When you see like a crazy celebrity death and they're like they had 15 substances in their body, you go, I get that.
Well, not only I get that, I'm like, that might have just been his, like, you know, you might have caught him on after a bad Saturday. Like, you know, who knows? Like, maybe on Monday, you wouldn't have, if he died on Monday, you wouldn't have had all those
You just was
substances in
trying
him.
to. You do
It
kind
might
of
have been-
you medicate yourself though to get back to even, right? That's the biggest
Yeah,
thing
well,
with
that's,
addiction.
you know, that's, yeah, you know, it's like anything else, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do
15
it, it's
years.
great. Yeah, 15 years.
Good
But
on
it's
you. My
fair.
wife, she's sober.
Oh, is she? Yeah, good. So you know, no wonder she's a therapist. That sounds like, you know.
She's in touch.
So, yeah, so you've been seen and validated, but just to let you know. You've been
Likewise.
seen- My wife.
I know what your wife can't do.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because she's not sober, my wife. She's the opposite. She's not a drug addict, but she's gotten stoned, you know, here and there.
Where's your compassion, Melissa?
Yeah, really. Where are you? Where's your compassion? You do not
Sorry,
see or
I'm glad you
validate
guys
me.
are seen and validated, but I feel a little alone over here. It's really
Well, yeah, you should be.
you tell me to work on my control issues. You're telling me
You got a 3 week old.
I got-
You're not getting
yeah.
validated
Yeah,
nor
how
seen.
is that going?
good. Honestly, I feel a little bad that today is today because I was up all night. So I'm a little operating.
Is this
on,
why you're operating less then?
No, I think the ego comment kind of beat me down a little. I think regardless of my sleep, I don't know who I am anymore.
I feel like
Stripping-
I could feel his feelings being hurt. Like I could feel the vibration of him from
Yeah,
him.
I'm in comedy and TV to just be complimented, so it's hard for me if you go, well, maybe you should shadow you crush your ego. Well, this shit.
Not like
You said, hey, you wop. Michael McDonald says you have too big of an ego. Well, it's been a blast having you here. I don't want to keep you all day. He's got a heart out, so we'll talk for a little bit longer. But he's a real artist. What's next for you? You go to India, you're writing. I want to hear about this album because honestly, we're doing a bunch of these for a bit. By the time this is out, we're going to be further along. What's the plan with this album? Because I'm so excited to hear it.
I got it. It's all done. It's mastered. It's
What?
mixed.
What?
Oh,
The
no
one you were
shit.
just doing?
Awesome.
No, that's a different thing. That's for this animated thing,
Oh, that's right. You told me about that. Okay.
which is going to be awesome too. But mine's mastered and mixed, and would start making all the stuff for it in the next couple of weeks, and then it'll probably come out in February.
Cool.
And then the other thing, which is the animated thing, Mr. Maybe.
Animation
Anything.
thing for people
Anything.
to know is the thing with a lot of John Mayer's band. That's the thing with them, right? That you were just doing with DRH and Pino Palladino, and your studio album is what, your third?
Yeah.
Before that, your third album? Oh wow, I'm glad I got that right. So by the time this is out, this will probably all be coming out. So we'll roll this out. Everybody go check out Jeff. He's the man. You're doing cool shit. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
We're
man.
gonna
dude.
end
I
how we
appreciate you.
began, which
Play me
is
out?
what?
You gonna play me out?
I'm going to play him out. We're not going to pay for this, but we are going to just watch him listen to himself uncomfortably. Thanks for
Write
being
down that
here,
they
man.
use the song twice. It's a double charge.
Listen,
That's right. 2 streams.
really had a blast doing here. Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah,
it's great,
thank you. I
right?
appreciate-
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new Michael McDonald. This is just literally his moniker.
Same old voice.
The new Michael.
I want to be your publicist and have someone write an article that says like, we haven't heard a voice like this since Michael McDonald. That's what they're going to say. St. Louis's finest, everybody.
Same
All
old
alone.
voice.
Thanks, Jeff Goldford, everybody. Yeah.
Am I supposed to get up and walk?
No, you stay here. We're gonna just leave. I want you to feel seen and heard by your own self.
Yes.
How about this for ego?
There I am. How about this for ego?
Do you still own that hat?
But I can keep you warm. I can't stop the